So guys, I'm back for another vid, and today we are going to be talking about some World Cup qualifiers. Let's get straight into it, and make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you will never miss a video. Let's get into it. So the first game that I'm going to be talking about is I have a couple games, but the Belgium game, Belgium beat Liechtenstein 7-0, and the reason why I bring this up is because they had to win, otherwise they would be in the playoff. But obviously they won 7-0, no problems there. The next game came from the group is Wales against North Macedonia. There's one player from North Macedonia named Elmas from Napoli. Wales won that 4-1. Good for Wales. They are into the playoffs. The next game. Sorry, I just need to get something real quick. The next game we have is Slovenia. Well, it doesn't really matter, but they tied. They tied against Sweden. And then the next game that I'm going to be talking about, Greece also tied. And then in Greece's group, Greece finished third, so Greece are out, Belarus are out. Scotland in a 4-2 win against Denmark. Scotland, I'm going to talk about that game. Turkey tied with Spain, but Spain still through. Georgia lost 2-1. Georgia are out, so Turkey make the playoffs. Bosnia tied against Austria, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Austria finished first, Bosnia into the playoffs. Let me just double check with that group. Bosnia. Yeah, so Bosnia into the playoffs, and Austria into the World Cup. San Marino, I don't know. I think San Marino do have one more chance because they won the Nations League group. So the winners of Nations group, which I don't know, will also play in the playoffs. So Sweden is one of those teams. I don't know if Romania is one of those teams, but I think it was some team like Romania. But let's talk about two games. First game is Kosovo versus Switzerland. And why do I bring this game up? Well, obviously, you guys know me. I'm a Napoli fan, and there is one player, one captain on this Kosovan team that I like and plays for my soccer team, Napoli. And his name is Rachmani. His team got a result against Switzerland. Obviously, it's not enough to make the World Cup directly, but they're going into the playoffs with very high hopes. And the reason why I say this, and Switzerland, okay, they deserve to be in the World Cup. Watch out for Switzerland. But Kosovo. Let me talk about Kosovo, chat, because I actually been watching their games. Not just because they're Rachmani, but because I want to see what they have, who they have. I've been watching their games. And defensively, they are solid. But because of their captain, And I'm not gonna just say, oh yeah, he's the, whatever. But this Kosovo team, if they make the playoffs, watch out. Because I'm not saying they're gonna be a dark horse like Norway, but you never know. Because if Kosovo actually start to become good offensively, like, okay, I know it's a home game for them today. Okay. But but they played one of, if not one of, the best teams in Europe, in Switzerland right now. And they tied. They got a result against Switzerland, the best team in their group. Period. Everybody thought, oh, Sweden would finish ahead of them. Everybody thought even Slovenia would finish above. Everybody thought Kosovo would be last. Going into this group, I knew Kosovo was going to be a team. But not like this. Because for me, what changes the facts that Kosovo is a good team from not being a good team is their defense. If they have the best defense game, like they did today, they can beat anyone. And now, listen, I'm not just saying this because they have Rakhmani, who I rate Rakhmani very, very high, top 5 in my opinion in Europe right now. And by the way, this is only, right? What? His, 6th game this season? He has played 6 games this season for club and country. 6 games this season. He has played 1 for the Champions League, 4 for Serie A, and 2 for... So that's what? 7. 7 games out of all competitions. Out of 15, 20. And yet, they only... The defense, right? This includes club and country. Caught Rakhmani when Rakhmani was on the pitch this season. Because also, I think the qualifying started back in, what was it, October? So yeah, but either way. Either way. Watch out for this Kosovo team. I am telling you, chap. Because... Sorry, my nose has been weird these days, but... Am I bleeding, chat? I may be bleeding. Maybe not. Sorry, my nose is just bothering me right now. But, getting back to Rakhmani. You have to... Okay. Let's talk about... Okay, let's talk about the Scotland game. I have McTominay's jersey, by the way. Scotland's game, and then I will go back to to Rakhmani and me rating Rakhmani. So, let's start with Denmark, right? For the Scotland-Denmark game. This game. You know what this game reminded me of? This game reminded me of Napoli versus Inter. Inter being Denmark. Napoli being Scotland. Reason why I say that is because Inter had more possession. Inter came out with a better plan. But we scored first. We scored first. Okay? Right? And then Inter come back into the game a little bit. But the only thing that was different was a red card. And that red card for Denmark today changed the game. And I don't care what fan you are. I'm not a fan of Scotland or Denmark, so I couldn't care less. And if you ask me, as an Italian fan, who would I rather play? I would say Scotland. Okay, I would. I would rather play Scotland. I do not want to play Denmark. But the thing about Denmark is that in the last 2 games, defensively they're terrible. Like, they conceded 6 in the last 2 games. Offense, yeah, they're good. Midfield, yeah, they're solid. But defensively, they are terrible. But same as Scotland. Scotland and Denmark, and a lot of these teams that play in in international football right now, are terrible defensively. Turkey's terrible defensive. Italy's terrible defensive. And that's it. So, Scotland make it to the World Cup. Congrats to Scotland. Congrats to McTominay. And if you haven't seen that goal, by the way, if you have not, that is the best goal in World Cup qualifying. Say what you say, that is the best goal in World Cup qualifying. It's not even close. That is the best goal in the World Cup qualifier. I don't want to hear any other words. Period. No questions asked. So now, before I end the video, let's talk about why I like Cavani so much. And no, I don't have a jersey, so people are not gonna say, oh, I'm obsessed with him, okay? Let me tell you 3 reasons why I believe Kosovo can do something in the World Cup, and 3 reasons why Emir Rahmani is the top 5 defenders in Europe. Let me tell you why he's top 5. Number 1 reason. How many goals have Napoli conceded in the games that he played? 2. He's played 4 games and we conceded 2. We conceded triple, double the amount when he's injured. Fact. The only game that when he has came back from injury that was bad was against Bologna last weekend. But apart from that, every single game that he has played so far, the last game he played, who would they beat? Wait. I'm thinking. Did they? Whoever it's Kosovo beat. I wanna say it was Slovenia, but I think it was Sweden. No, sorry. It was Slovenia. Either way, they beat Slovenia 1-0. So that's that. But defensively, they were so good. Defensively, they were... And yes, I know Switzerland scored today, but good. Okay, let me tell you is that out of the 7 games he played in all competitions for club and country, 3 goals conceded. 3 goals in 7 games. 3 goals in 7 games. 3 goals in 7 games. 7 games, the opponent has scored only 3. For one defender. For one defender. For one defender. And I don't want to hear any stuff about, but when they didn't have Akmani against Sweden, they tied. Or they beat them without Akmani. Okay, but then how do you explain the 4-0 loss against Switzerland with Akmani? Oh, and they played Switzerland today and they tied with Akmani. So Akmani is not the problem. The problem is our offense. The problem with Kosovo is offense. If you can put the ball into the net as a Kosovo player, as a Kosovo team, if Kosovo scores, they're going to get a result. If Kosovo scores, I repeat, if Kosovo scores, they are going to get a result. That's what happened. But they didn't score in the last game against Switzerland. And I know this guy plays for Juventus right now, so I don't really want to say much about him. But I'm going to speak about him. Zagrova, he's a baller. And was that penalty? Probably not. Okay. I don't think that's a pen, but I can see why Kosovo thought that was a penalty, but it was. But yeah, so that's that. So Kosovo going to the playoff. As an Italian fan, and I know this might sound crazy, but going to the playoff, I do not want to play Kosovo or Denmark. Please. So I think we're gonna get Wales, Turkey, Sweden, Wales, Sweden. What's another team? Turkey, Wales, Sweden. Turkey, Wales, Sweden. Turkey, Wales, Sweden. And maybe Northern Ireland. I'll take Northern Ireland. Just don't give me Slovakia. I would feel bad, but I don't want to. Slovakia, I would feel bad, but I wouldn't mind playing them. Just don't give me Ukraine. I think it's difficult, but we can win. Sweden, I think it's difficult, but we can win. Wales, we should win. Because it is at home for the semifinal game. So that's that. Okay, okay. Call me crazy, but as an Italian fan, I wanna get redemption on Sweden, bro. I wanna shut up Sweden. Okay, so that's that. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. So that's it for today, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, or I maybe not tomorrow, but definitely Thursday and Friday. Friday I go to the Celtics game, so I'll post then. But until guys, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe. And that'll be it for today's video. So see you guys in the next video. Let's go, and Forza Napoli sempre.